surprisingly, this is a fact. Hi, Golftat here. In this video, we're gonna try to reveal the myth about the swing weight. Are those facts or urban legend? Let's get to it. Swing weight myth revealed. In this episode, we're gonna investigate 4 rumors or myths about swing weight. Number 1. When you put 2 gram weight on the head of the club, you get 1 swing point increase. This one is popular, right? You must have heard of this. Number 2. When you extend the club by 1 inch, you get 5 swing weight point increase. Number 3. When you put 5 gram weight on the butt end of the club, you get 1 swing point decrease. Number 4. This one is my favorite. When the swing weight of the club is D0 on Japanese swing weight scale, it will be D1 on American swing weight scale. Can this be true? Let's check it. The swing weight. Firstly, we need to exactly understand what it really is. Otherwise, it's not possible to do the fact check, right? The swing weight scale, what does it evaluate? It evaluates the moment of both sides of the fulcrum. The moment in this case means the work of force to rotate an object. The definition is the distance from the fulcrum multiplied by force. The unit is inch-ounce or inch-gram. The swing weight measurement itself here, such as D1 or D0, is nothing but the distance of the sliding weight from the fulcrum. Now, what do those scales mean? Let's see how are the scales defined. This is the definition of swing weight. First, we get the distance from the butt end of the club to the center of gravity of the club. We subtract 14 because it is an 14-inch scale, then multiply it by total weight. This is the definition of the swing weight of the club. Then, how are the increment of scales defined? By the way, the increment is called logarithmic swing weight point. This is the only official way to call the increment. Okay, logarithmic, not logarithmic. Okay, logarithmic. Am I saying it correctly? Logarithmic. By the way, it is a 1.75 inch-ounce. An important definition, 1.75. Okay, and the D0, which is about the center of the scale, is a 213.5 inch-ounce. So if you know the swing weight of your club, you subtract 213.5, then divide it by 1.75, you get the swing weight point of your club. Okay, for example, if the swing weight of your club is 217, the swing weight point is D2. Okay, this means that you do not need a swing weight scale to get the swing weight of your club. All you need is usually measure and a weight scale. This conversion table is available on net, so you may try by yourself. Then, who defined the scale? Okay, in 1934, in the United States, a gentleman named Mr. Adams patented this original swing weight scale under the patent number of 1953916. Then, in 1945, as far as I remember, Mr. Kenneth Smith. Yes, the Kenneth Smith of Kenneth Smith Golf bought this patent, and then he improved it and sold it in his company. At that time, the origin were already 1.75 increment and the D0 213.5. So I think those standards were set by Mr. Kenneth Smith. So I may be wrong, so if you know the true story, let me know. Now we know exactly what swing weight is, so we can do the fact check for the myth. Let's try the myth number 1. 2 gram weight on a club head means 1 swing weight point increase. This turned out to be an urban legend. The weight actually needed is inverse proportional to the club length. Now, what do I mean by inverse proportional? Let's validate. By definition, the swing weight is CZ-14 multiplied by total weight. 1 point increment is 1.75 inch-ounce. This is 126 centimeter gram in metric. Oh, this is Japan, so we use a metric. So the necessary weight for 1 point increase, we can get it by dividing 126 by CZ-14. Okay, so let's think about the 40-inch club. In this case, CZ-14 is 62 centimeter. So we divide 126 by 62 and we get 2.03. This is about right. But how about the driver, whose length is 45 inch? When we divide 126 by 74.57, I get 1.67, which is different from 2. Let's check the other lengths of clubs. In driver 45 inch, we get 1.7 gram. Okay, for the club of 48 inch long, which I used to use, I only need 1.5 gram to get 1 swing weight point increase. For the club of 40 inch, that may be hybrid number 3 or 4, we need about 2 gram. This is good. But for the club of 35 inch long pitching wedge, we need 2.5 gram. For putter, we need 3 gram to get 1 swing point increase. So this turned out to be an urban legend. The fact is, the weight needed for 1 point is inverse proportional to the club length. This was the fact. Myth number 2. When you extend the club by 1 inch, you get a 5 swing weight point increase. This turned out to be an urban legend too. In this case, the points that increase, are proportional to the club weight, especially the head weight, that are on the right side portion of the scale. Let's check it. The definition is same as before, and in this case, we need to get the point increase per 1 inch extension. This is same as the moment increases divided by the moment for 1 point. Okay, so we multiply the head weight by 2.54, then divide it by 126. So for 5 iron, which may have a 260 gram head, in this case we get 5.24 points. This is about right. But how about the driver? In this case, we only have 4 points. Okay. Please note that the effect of the shaft weight is very minor. So if you mind, use 201 instead of 200, something like that. Okay, let's see the other clubs. For driver, we get 4. For the 5 iron, we get 5. For pitching wedge, we get 6. And for putter, which may have a head weight of 350 to 400, we get a 7 to 8 point increase per 1 inch extension. So again, this was an urban legend. And the fact was, the point that changes are proportional to the club weight, especially the head weight. This was a fact. Myth number 3. 5-gram weight on the butt end of the club means 1 swing weight point decrease. This one is true. I mean, partially true, because the actually swing weight points that decreased are about 1.3 per 5 gram. Let's validate. Again, the definition is same, and the point decrease by 5 gram weight on butt is same as the moment increases per the weight divided by the moment per 1 point, right? So we multiply 5 by 13. This 13 means we use a 14-inch scale, right? So the location of the weight is 13 inches from the fulcrum. So 13 multiplied by 2.54, then divided by 126, which is a moment for 1 point. Okay, in this calculation, we get 1.3 points. Okay, please note that in this case, all of those numbers, 5, 13, and 2.54, are constant. This means that we get the same result for all clubs, any kind of club. So this was a fact. Okay. So 5 gram weight on the butt end, we get 1.3 point decrease. For 10 gram, 2.6, and 15, 3.9. Okay. So the fact was this was true. To be precise, the point that decrease is about 1.3 points per 5 gram. Myth number 4, the last one and my favorite one. The Japanese swing weight point D0 equal to American swing weight point D1. Can this be true? Surprisingly, this is a fact. Okay, here is the reason. The Japanese one swing weight point is 0.8% larger than the American one. This is the reason why. Actually, this theory has been already explained by the gentleman named Dr. David Kuterman. If you need a full story, please refer to his site here. Okay, and for this presentation, let me try to explain based on his story. Okay, again, the definition is same, and in the design of scale, we need to set the origin. Okay, we need to set the D0. Okay, so we divide the 213.5 by 1.75, and we get 122. So D0 is actually 122 swing weight point from the origin. When they tried to design the scale in Japan, they needed to convert the unit into inch gram, okay, gram, because they are not familiar with ounce here. So in this case, the one increment is 49.61 inch gram, okay, and D0 became 6052 inch gram. Okay, this is the original definition. Okay. However, they used an estimation 50 for 49.61. This was a good estimation because the error of less than 1%. They thought this is okay. And in this case, D0 is 61 hundredths inchgram. Now, when we look at the original definition, okay, original D0, it's one swing weight point more than the original definition. What does this mean? Okay, in the original scale, American scale, the D0 is 6052 plus 49.61 increment, inchgram. This is the original scale, correct scale. But in the Japanese one, since they use the estimation 50 for 49.61, D0 is now 6100 and the increment is 50. So when you have a golf club of 6100 swing weight, the reading will be D1 on American scale, original scale. However, the reading will be D0 on the Japanese scale, which has an increment of 50 inchgram instead of 49.61. This was the truth about the myth. Okay, let's get the summary for the facts check for swing weight myth. The number one, myth number one, 1 point increase means 2 gram weight on the head. This was an averaging, okay? And number two, 1 inch extension means 5 point increase. This was also averaging. Number three, 5 gram weight on bat means 1 swing weight decrease. This was partially right, partially fact. The truth is about 1.3 points. And Japanese D0 is American D1. This was surprisingly fact. Okay, that's it for the fact check. Okay, how about that? In the next episode, I'm gonna take up the frequency of the golf club. Everybody likes to talk about the frequency, right? But a lot of people misunderstand that. I mean a lot. So it's gonna be interesting one. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Until then, continue hitting.